Rosemary's working in the persuasive influence, writing a speech with a purpose. The title of her speech is Sticks and Stones. Rosemary believes we all have heard the saying sticks and stones, but tonight she would like to debunk that saying. Welcome, Rosemary.
Words are powerful and they affect our lives. How many of you have never had words that hurt you? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, we all have had words that have hurt us. Words are so powerful. They can be helpful or hurtful. Words can build someone up, but they can also tear someone down. I know you've all heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. I don't know who wrote that, but I can tell you that words can hurt. Words affect our minds and they can really pierce our hearts. The world today is affected by words that are being said. Adults are calling people names. They're saying hateful things to one another. And we wonder why our children are bullying other children. We wonder why there's so much anxiety and stress and suicide in our world. When I was young, I had words said to me that stayed with me in my head and my heart for years. My dad was a perfectionist, so if I didn't do something perfect, these were the words I heard. Rosemary, you are not good enough. You will never amount to anything. You are not pretty and no one will ever want you. And for years, I lived with those words. I invited them to take up space in my whole body, in my mind, because every time I would get excited to do something and it didn't go well, those words would come back. Therefore, I would say, I can't do anything right, and I never will amount to anything. But finally, in the past few years, being in my late 60s, things began to change. I realized that I have been blessed with some gifts, and the choice of words that I allow in my life, I choose. I was with a friend one day and we were sitting, and she has a lot of anxiety and sadness, and most of it comes from her young years also, with words that were said to her by her parents. And I felt so bad, and I looked at her and I said, Cindy, what are some words that people have said to you lately? Now, she is one of the kindest people I have ever met. She said, well, people say I'm kind, I'm generous. And all of a sudden, as she was telling me these words, I could see this smile on her face and the tension was going away. I said to her, Cindy, I want you to write those words on Post-it notes, and I want you to hang them in different places that you will see every day. I decided to take my own advice, and I wrote some things. One of the things I wrote is, I am beautiful. I put it on my mirror, and my husband came in and said, I am beautiful. And I said, babe, I don't even have my makeup on yet. He said, no, I'm beautiful. But he does say it to me, not as much as he says it to himself. I realize that when I see those words, when I see you are talented, when I see some of the things that I've done, when I hear people say something to me, even thank you or smile at me, it makes me feel different inside. It makes me feel like those words are replacing the words that I allowed to stay for so long. I wrote, you are talented. I love to write. And I have people so many years say, who is going to read what you write? What do you have to say? Who are you? But I've decided I love to write, and I will continue to write. Words are hurtful, and those words can stay with us. Again, we choose what words we want. They're words. Sticks and stones can break your bones. You'll get a scar, it'll heal. But isn't it funny how those words get in us and they stay? Why? We know they're not true. I hope that you will realize that hurtful words that were said to you will only hurt you if you believe them, because they are not true. As I look at all of you, I know that you've all heard words that were said to you that were kind. And those are the things you need to put in your heart and your mind. Now, I was also called a Pollyanna my whole life, and that one I'm going to keep because Pollyanna's definition is obsessively cheerful and optimistic. That was one of my favorite movies, still is, and I will stay a Pollyanna. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I do know that words are powerful, and negativity is a pandemic right now in our world. And if we want to begin to see a change, then we have to begin with ourselves. The tongue is so small, yet so powerful. And the words that it produces are powerful. So I want you to remember this word, think. I have it on my wall in my den. Think before you speak. Are the words I'm about to say true? Are the words I'm about to say helpful? Are the words I'm about to say inspiring? Are they necessary? And are they kind? I believe if we started to say kind words to other people, we could help to change someone's life. Don't let hurtful words that were said to you overpower the helpful words that were said to you. Remember, it's your choice. Surround yourself with people who will support and encourage you. I'd like to challenge all of you this week to say kind words to at least 3 people each day. And if it works for the week, see how you feel and start to say it even more. I guarantee it will bring both of you joy. Always remember, words are powerful, and think before you speak. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rosemary. I'd like to pass it right over to Charlotte for facilitation of our evaluation. Charlotte?
Thank you, Linda. We will now have an evaluation portion of her speech, and please limit your comments to 30 seconds. So something constructive or something as a compliment that you liked. And the first person I'm going to call on is William McCumbee.
I was like going to write something in the chat, but that hits me rather close to home because I was told that saying when I was in school and I was getting picked on a lot. I was the victim of some pretty severe name calling and general hatred from all the other kids, not just in primary school, but also in high school, not so much in middle school, but that saying has been the biggest lie I've ever been told as a kid, because sticks and stones, they can break bones, but bones can be set and mended, and they will generally heal up almost as strong as they were before they're broken. But so these scars have been left by the hateful words I've been the victim of have really, really affected me as an adult. And still, I find it very difficult to take praise and compliments because these hateful words have been so ingrained in me as a kid that I need to, it's not easy, but it hits me very close to home.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, William. I think all of us can probably identify with that to a certain extent, some of us more than others. I see some head nodding going on, and that's a very challenging topic. And I appreciate you coming up with that, Rosemary, and it's a very good speech. The next person I would like to call on would be Sue Lightoff, and after that, I would like to call on Anne Marie, one of our guests.
Rosemary, that was an amazing speech. I think it hit home with everybody. I'm not going to say a lot of people, it hit home with everybody. In some cases, I think we may have been the stick and stone thrower. I know we've all been there, and we've been the receiver. So thank you for making it aware of our fact, and be more careful and take it to heart, and take it to heart how we can live with it. Thank you.
Okay, Anne Marie, would you like to provide a comment?
Sure. Rosemary, I was in your place where close family members were telling me how bad I was and how awful and I'd never achieve anything. So I can really understand and recognize how difficult it was to come from that particular situation and come out and be a decent person, a good person, and a person who's positive. And I love that about your speech, that you end up coming out a very positive person. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne, and also William and Sue. I'll turn control of the meeting back to Linda.
Thank you, Charlotte. Our second speaker this evening is our president, Francine Julin. She's working on dynamic